Y'all, so Misa Hylton is coming for Diddy, and she is not holding anything back. Right after news dropped that their son Justin is being dragged into that SA lawsuit, Misa completely snapped. And what she's exposing about how Diddy's been brainwashing their kids is wild. Now everybody knows that Diddy has been spiraling ever since those lawsuits started piling up. But what Misa has just revealed is making people look at this whole situation completely different, because she's calling him out for years of manipulation, control, and damaging their kids' minds. And some folks are saying that this might explain why Justin's caught up in all of this in the first place. But here's where it gets even messier, because Misa is not just blaming Diddy, she's exposing the twisted dynamic inside the whole Diddy family, and it's a hot mess. So let's get into her claims. Misa Hylton is done protecting Diddy, and she's finally exposing just how toxic things really got behind the scenes. Right after the news broke that their son Justin is being sued for SA in the same lawsuit that's already dragging Diddy through the mud, Misa snapped. And what she's revealing about how Diddy's been brainwashing their kids, y'all. It explains a lot of this mess surrounding the family. Now, as you guys probably know, Diddy's been sparing under that lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. But Misa is saying this goes way deeper than people think. She's accusing him of manipulating his kids for years, planting dangerous ideas into their heads, and using them as pawns to cover his tracks. And when you look at how fast Justin's name got wrapped up into all this case, it makes you wonder how much control did he really had over his kids. But this is where things get real messy, because some people feel like Misa is trying to deflect from Justin's actions. Justin's not a child. He's over 30, and this isn't the first time that Misa Hylton is not staying silent anymore. She's coming for Diddy, and she's airing out all the dirty laundry. Right after the bombshell dropped that their son Justin is being named in the same SA lawsuit as Diddy, Misa went off. And what she's saying about how Diddy has allegedly been brainwashing their kids is shaking people up. Now, we all know Diddy has been spiraling ever since those lawsuits started stacking up. But Misa's recent claims are making people see things in a whole new light. She's not just accusing him of being a bad father, she's calling him out for years of manipulation, control, and seriously toxic behavior that may have impacted their children's mental health. And honestly, some folks are saying that could explain why Justin's even caught up in all this in the first place. But it gets even messier, because Misa isn't just blaming Diddy, she's shedding light on the entire twisted dynamic within the Diddy family. According to her, it's been dysfunctional for a long time. And now that Justin's being named in this lawsuit, it's forcing everything out into the open. Misa says Diddy has used his children as pawns, allegedly planting dangerous ideas in their heads, manipulating their actions, and keeping them under his control. And when you look at how quickly Justin's name got dragged into the scandal, it really makes you wonder just how deep Diddy's influence ran. That said, not everyone is siding with Misa. Some people think she's just trying to shift the blame. After all, Justin isn't a kid anymore, he's over 30. And this isn't the first time his name's been tied to controversy. Either way, one thing is clear. This family drama just hit a
Mike, chill, Mike. I ain't fuck daddy, son.
Hey guys, how do you feel about your dad
Young Diddy, what up?
What do you think about what Nash said to them about your dad?
Key.
He's been tied to some disturbing behavior with women. So, at first it looked like Misa was just making excuses. But then she dropped a bomb. That changed everything. Because what Misa revealed about Diddy and how far he's been going to manipulate his kids has got people questioning the whole family dynamic. But what's even crazier is when you hear the details of Justin's lawsuit, because the mess runs deeper than anybody expected. So let's break it down. This is how it started. The details are wild. So, a woman named Tyreek Connolly just came forward filing a lawsuit against both Dee and his son, Justin, of some disturbing stuff that allegedly went down back in 2017. Now, we're not going to drag out every single tiny legal detail, but there are some parts that got everybody talking. According to Tyreek, she first connected with Justin on Snapchat after he slid into her DMs. She claims he promised to help her break into the entertainment world using his dad's connections and specifically offering her a shot at landing a job at Revolt TV. She says Justin arranged everything, flew around from New Orleans to LA, car service, the whole package. But once she got there, according to her, that's when everything took a dark, disturbing turn. She claims that Justin allegedly pressured her to start drinking heavily and take substances she wasn't comfortable with. And once she was under the influence, that's when things got even more twisted. She says 3 masked men showed up in the room. She couldn't identify 2 of them, but she recognized the third man. She swears it was Diddy. She claims his voices, mannerisms, everything gave him away. Plus, Justin allegedly called him Pops right there in the moment. But it doesn't stop there. Tarek is accusing all 4 of them of trapping her inside that house and essaying her for nearly 24 hours from Saturday straight into Sunday before allegedly dumping her at an airport like nothing even happened. And if you're wondering why this stayed buried for years, well, she says Justin allegedly blackmailed her with private pictures she sent to him on Snapchat before the trip, keeping her quiet until now. But here's where the whole situation takes a wild turn and ties straight into the bigger mess that Diddy's already facing. Now, y'all already know that the feds hit him with Rio charges, claiming his entire Combs enterprise is basically a front for organized crime behind the scenes. Well, according to Tyreek's lawsuit, she says Diddy allegedly used that same company to orchestrate the entire situation, from flying her out to covering it up and, most importantly, making sure Justin stayed protected from any fallout. And if that's true, that plays right into this RICO case that the feds are trying to build, proving Combs' enterprise wasn't just for business, but allegedly a whole machine for covering. Justin has already been tied to some disturbing behavior with women in the past, so when this new lawsuit dropped, some folks initially thought Misa Hylton was just trying to deflect. But then she dropped a bombshell that completely changed the tone of the conversation. What she revealed about Diddy's alleged manipulation of their kids has people rethinking the entire dynamic within the family. And when you dig into the actual details of the lawsuit against Justin, it's even more disturbing than most expected. Here's what went down. A woman named Tyreek Connerly has come forward with serious accusations, filing a lawsuit against both Diddy and his son Justin for events that allegedly happened back in 2017. We won't go into every single legal detail, but some claims are so shocking they've taken over headlines. According to Tyreek, she first connected with Justin on Snapchat after he slid into her DMs. She says he promised to help her break into the entertainment industry using his father's connections, specifically offering her a shot at working with Revolt TV. She claims he arranged everything: flights from New Orleans to LA, car service, hotel, the full VIP treatment. But once she arrived, things allegedly took a dark turn. Tyreek says Justin pressured her into drinking heavily and using substances she wasn't comfortable with. And once she was under the influence, things got even worse. She claims that 3 masked men showed up in the room. She couldn't identify 2 of them, but she swears the third was Diddy. She says his voice, mannerisms, everything gave him away, and to make matters worse, Justin allegedly referred to him as Pops in the moment. But it doesn't end there. Tyreek is accusing all 4 men of trapping her in that house and assaulting her for nearly 24 hours, starting Saturday and continuing straight into Sunday, before allegedly dumping her at an airport like nothing had happened. She says the reason she didn't come forward sooner is because Justin allegedly blackmailed her with explicit pictures she had sent him on Snapchat before the trip, using them to keep her silent for years. Now here's where it gets even more tangled in the larger legal mess Diddy is already facing. As many of you know, the feds recently hit Diddy with RICO charges, alleging that his entire Combs enterprise was functioning as a front for organized crime. And Tyreek's lawsuit claims that very company was used to orchestrate the whole situation, from flying her out, to covering it up, to protecting Justin from any legal consequences. If that's true, it doesn't just support the RICO case. It could be a key part of proving that Combs' enterprise wasn't just a business, but allegedly a tool for running and hiding criminal activity.